a discovery call for guests, or is it if they want to host their own show?
It would
Well,
be a guest. So I think
yeah,
we
the
were
focus
thinking
here was
guest
on
with
the
this.
guest.
Okay. So yeah, be a guest. I would say be a guest
So
on
then, you know what? So Angel should, but it could be too much because now I'm looking at it now, and that's why we're here. Maybe it's too much. Maybe we need to put it into lanes. Like
Mm.
this is be a guest lane. This is become a show, like, I'd like my own show,
Mhm.
and whatever else. And maybe those are three separate landing pages that we use rotating. Like if with a different kind of video in it.
Yeah,
Right.
because you've got, because it does, it kind of starts to get muddied.
Too much. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was my idea too. This is highlighting Real Biz Talk and Real Biz Talk pretty much only, right? Because we're showing them, like the product of the product. You can
Mhm.
be a guest on this show, highlighting your business, and we're showing how that looks and how that feels by
Yeah.
By putting this
the
down here, you mean?
episodes, right?
Okay.
Right.
So you'll
Yeah,
do this
that
for
whole
every
top part is every
guest on the
guest
show.
on Real Biz Talk,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And so, and then as then we need to promote Real Biz Talk in and of itself in the other, or in Zandra TV network in and of itself, right?
Yep.
But again, this for me is the product of the product. So not only, the featured guest, we're showing them what the experience of being on a show.
Yeah, so you have the Zandra TV network, but
Mhm.
Real Biz Talk is a show
Yes.
on the network,
On
and
the
then you could be a
network.
guest on the show.
Right. You can be, and so this is about this. This is about the guests that are already on the show and how we're promoting their business. But then an invitation to, strike while the iron's hot. If somebody got here, they were interested in that show, right?
Mhm.
And so then down here is an invitation, and you too can have your own guest appearance on this show. So
Okay.
that was the idea behind that. And then, but again, focusing on that.
So then I think that there's lanes to this. Now that I really am like looking at it and not on my phone in the car. I'm looking at it. I think that this has to be in lanes. Like we have to create a lane for just Biz Talk, just Fireside, and then for the company, like for Zandra TV Network, right? I think that that's three distinct different things. What do you think?
It is.
I would take this Fireside Chat off of here, and this
this
will just be Biz Talk,
right? Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. So I'm thinking, yeah, okay. So our main thing is how do we drive people back into Zandra TV Network? How do we increase the number of people there? God, my skin looks good there, doesn't it?
Mhm.
It looks good there too.
That was a good day.
Mhm.
When do you have a bad day? I'm trying to figure that one.
Right now. Okay, so what do you think? So do we agree three separate lanes, and to clean this up and make it a little bit more crisper and not as much congestion?
Yeah, there is a lot going on here, like visually with the all the background stuff with you and Lori, and the moving stuff. Yeah, it is a lot.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's you want to take people through this funnel, right, and get them get them exactly into where you want them to go. So for here, what you're really wanting them to do is to connect with Micah, because there's so much here that says connect with her.
Yeah.
That's a big feature, right, for her, right, to have that much real estate on here. I mean, it's like her own, it's almost like an own mini website, like a mini web page just for her. And so this first piece is about her on the ZTV network. I would add this Zandra TV network, like, I don't know, can that be one of these little logos down here with this Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV? I know it's up there, but
Yeah.
with all of the logos, like Zandra
Yeah,
TV network should have its own logo, I think, with those others to
Okay.
Yeah.
establish you as that credible brand.
Mhm. So
There.
do you suggest taking it from the corner up there and moving it down with all of them, or both?
I would do both.
Okay, all right.
Mhm.
And that is if we decide to stay with this background, because I, you know, I'm looking at it on the computer for the first time, Felice. And so it might be a tad bit too busy and too much going on. Now that I look at it on a laptop, it looked great on my phone. And, you know, that's what happens. It looked great on your phone, but it
Well,
might
no,
be
because
bit
that's
too
a good
much.
thing, because most people look on their phones nowadays. So
Yeah.
it needed to look great on your phone. Most
Which is
people,
good. Yeah, they do need to, it will, no matter if it looks good on the phone, on here, it will still look good on the phone.
And then this right here is going to be, you know, this is going to be a transparent thing, you know,
yeah,
overlay.
I already changed that on the things. I just,
Mhm.
Okay. I mean, it is
Yeah, I
going to
did
look
change that.
different, but conceptually, I think what we're trying to do is just get a concept on here's how it's going to be. We're going to have 3 different lanes, because I ultimately, what I want, and what this meeting is about is being able to have this thing that happens for Zandra TV Network, that there's constant online digital advertisements for Zandra TV Network. There's constant pushing this through social media to build the mailing list of people interested in having a show. So the show is one thing. I want a show. And then another one is I want to be on TV. I want to be featured on TV. There's a difference there. And so the content and what we put around that should be different, but those things should be popping up all the time, right?
Yeah. So how often does a new Biz Talk or Fireside Chat, like how often does a new episode drop?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to be able to say that it has to do with intake. So like usually at least one every 3 weeks.
Okay.
So
Well,
once a month.
yeah. So a 3-week, right? I mean, that gives you a 3-week campaign to say it's coming, it's here, it was last week. Did you miss it? And the next one, it's coming, it's here, it was last week. So it gives you on social media and in your email campaigns too, to say, all right, the Micah, next week it's going to be Micah. This week it's Micah. Last week it was Micah. Next week it's going to be Lori. This week it's Lori. And so
Yeah.
there should be enough window in there and so it's always something, there's always somebody new that you're promoting. And because people want to be a part, right, of something new, kind of, and documenting kind of behind the scenes, what's happening. Like we recorded it today, here's a scene from what we recorded. It's now in editing, and, just bringing people along the process to getting them excited about what it's going to be like when they do it with you.
Yeah. So even that, now see, I didn't think of that one. That's really good about behind the scenes for even the ones like for Micah or whatever, when they're, when we're doing funny stuff and whatever else, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're referring to?
People love that. Right? Behind the scene, it's documenting like what you're going through.
Right.
Which allows you to, rather than say, hey, buy my stuff, right? It's like, look, hey, well, here's what we're doing today. We recorded for 2 hours and spent 6 hours in editing, or 6 costume changes, had to powder our noses, every 5 minutes because the heat lamps were so hot.
Yeah.
That's just so that people can start to imagine themselves
being on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. So bring people along in the journey.
Mm-hmm.
Now that really fits out with what Hawa does. Like those pieces can be some of what she posts. Like maybe we always do a behind the scenes on Wednesdays, right? Wednesday behind the scene moment, right? Yeah. And it's Micah this week, and the next time it's Lori, and the next time it's this one, and But we
Well,
get,
because you have 13 producers, right?
yeah,
Or and not producers. I mean, even if it's just one a week, that gets a lot of play, right? Because there's always somebody new that you're featuring, and you've got
yeah,
plenty.
because well, we did incorporate. So in social media, we incorporated that now. Zandra TV Network is pitching a show every week.
Yeah, I've seen that. You guys have been doing great. So, also like, um, yeah, I'm just looking up your Zandra TV Network page. This could also be where if you end up doing a video, like a little webinar for how to get started, we could have it here as well, Zandra, or little
Okay.
snippets that are showed, here about hosting your own, having your own show. Be a guest, right? Looking for guests for these 2 stations, be a producer. I mean, you're really, this is the buzzwords. This is what everybody's talking about right now. I want to be on TV. I want my own show. Look at what all the others that are chasing in your footsteps. Look what they're posting, right? Look, who wants to be? Now we're on this logo. Now we're on this logo. Rather than like all at once, like spoon feed us every single day a little something about.
Okay.
Right?
Ooh, this is WORK. It is. Bring people along the journey.
Mhm.
Right. I was seeing something from somebody else. Who was it? Oh, it was Steve Harrison, right? They do webinars, right? On what you need to know to be a good booked as a guest, what makes a good guest.
Yeah, that would be great. And like if you do a video with that information, and that could be a post, and we could put it on a website too, leading them through a sales funnel as well with that information. That would be great.
So it's almost like, here's promoting our guests. Here's, promoting our producers. Here's, baby steps on how you could become your own producer. Here's what it takes to be a good guest. What's that? That's 4. So it's almost like you could have like a running theme every day just for like a quarter, right? As we're kicking off and building up, like you're almost even do like what do they call that when they're planning a play and all the actors got to show up for a rehearsal? Casting call. Casting call, right? You could have a casting call event, Zandra, where people are signing up, and then you're teaching them about what it takes to be a producer, and taking them through, like, here's just we're looking for people who might want to have their own show. So
well, with that being said, we could do a casting call event, and I like that. But what it triggered me to think about is, that there's one sponsored maybe show of 6 episodes, and somebody gets to pitch. They get to pitch their idea, right, or something of that sort. We could even have it where it be like almost a pitch.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, yeah. I'm writing. Baby steps of being a producer. You said something else. Well, I got it recording, so I'll listen to it. Oh God. Okay, and so do we agree that the 3 lanes, though, that there's lanes, and the lane is biz talk, right? And that would like be a guest, right?
Yeah, yep, be a guest.
And then fireside.
That's also a be a guest, right?
That's also be a guest. And then there's ZTV, the company. Oh no, it'd be producer.
Right.
So that would be like, show, I'd like a show or something.
Mhm.
And then the other one is ZTV. And
Right.
that is just about who we are, what we do, blase. And maybe there's two things that are on there. One is I'd like to be a guest on ZTV, or I want to become a producer, or I'm interested in becoming a part of the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that the umbrella is the network, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
so even on Real Biz,
Mhm.
right, and Fireside, right, it's the umbrella is they're on this network,
Right.
right? And now we have this show, and you could be a guest, right? We
Right.
have this show, and you could be a guest,
Mhm.
right? Or you could be a host of, you could have your own show, right? But it all is under, I think you've got to be talking about the network
Right. Yeah.
all the time.
All the time. I agree.
Yes.
And are we going to promote the individual shows? Is that part of your offering for the ones that are hosting their own shows, the producers, right? That show itself, it's going to, like the Fanny Minute show or the Dr. Brenda show, or
We do want to promote
so
it.
it's like 4. Yeah. So then there's 4
Because
because
they will, but they have
again,
their own process, right? About how they're going to promote
Right.
their show. But when I think of the producers, I think about that the network owns a responsibility to help promote that show. Like, listen,
Mhm.
this was amazing. If you've never heard a baby speak from the womb, you've got to look at Fanny Minute, right? That has to happen
Yes.
from a network standpoint,
Yes.
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, don't you
That's
think so?
correct.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. And that probably is the email campaign. But so here's the other thing. I have so many things. I'm like speaking in tongues. I'm so sorry. Because we have banner season, right?
Mhm.
Banner season is perfect for postcards to go in the mail that will say, hey, did you know that? And I don't know what that should look like, Angel. I get confused on how much it should say, or should it just be branding that says, watch ZTV and have different shows?
You know what might be a fun graphic for this is almost like you have like the wall of TVs, and each show. So the Zandra TV
Yes.
network, and then like all these like little TV
Mhm.
with their all the different all the different shows that
Yeah.
are on it, to
Mhm.
say like be a part of the team, right? Or and so we could say, be a part of the team, watch the shows, like go and watch these shows,
Mhm.
get your own show, right? And kind of back and forth between the messaging, but it highlights all of the shows on the network,
Mhm.
all in one beautiful little graphic.
Yeah.
And leading with that, your producers will feel like, okay, everywhere she goes, we go too. And it could almost even like have the empty box where your show here, like you could,
Yeah.
this could be you,
Yeah.
as a a little bonus for them to think about. Yes, we're promoting these other shows,
Mhm.
but also you could have, we've got room for you too.
Where's your show? Yeah. I
Mhm.
love it.
Kind of like I did with Navigate Her when I said, your business, this could be
Yeah.
your business in the
Yeah.
spotlight. So we
Right.
could do the same thing. But where are you
Yeah.
thinking that would work at though?
On those
On the
postcards.
postcards. I think it could work on the postcards because you could.
Yeah. And I mean, I just saw somebody today even posted, they've got their show. So they, how when you pull on your smart TV and it has like all the different things. Does Zandra TV I've never looked at it up on the
Oh, you
smart
talking about
TV.
Manny? You can tell me who you're talking about. I saw
Oh
it.
yeah. Did you see it? Do we have a ZTV logo? Like, can we create something like it?
We have it.
So let's grab that picture, right? And share that with the ZTV. Like, all of these graphics make for great postcards. And putting in the mail to, and kind of a series of, we want to promote ours, so go and support us. But then the next one is you could have your own too.
Okay, because you know what he did. I mean, and it's tricky, so we just have to do it too. That's all. He's not literally next to Netflix. He just made himself next to.
Well, I was thinking, like, I was like, okay, I got to go and see how do you make this, but we all have some, I mean, you take a picture.
Here's what she's talking about. So I'm gonna share our screen because I was already looking at it. I look at my, not that he's my competition, but I
right.
knew
But you look and
I
see
saw
what the
something.
individual's doing.
Yeah. So this is what he did.
Mhm.
And all he did, you
Yeah.
could tell,
Yes.
this is his box. He
Uh-huh.
overlaid over
Yeah.
somebody else's box that was
Yeah.
close to Netflix.
Absolutely. I
That's
love
what
it.
he did.
I love it.
We
Well,
want to make one of those for Zandra.
Yeah.
But even see how, like, even that kind of thing, like for your producers too,
Yes.
with
Mhm.
the Roku and the Apple, like all the other logos, but like with your producers, with your logo in some of the boxes. And so it's like they all want the as seen on, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, the Prime Video, like we could change, create a graphic that
Mhm.
has some of these logos, but
Yeah.
then some of the logos are, then your producers are in, like, the other boxes.
Sure. That'd be great.
And that would make a great postcard.
Mhm.
Okay.
Social media too, but
Yeah.
yeah. And for them to see their logo on the same thing as a,
Okay.
with a Apple TV and a Chromecast and a Roku and Netflix, right? Because that's how you watch it, right? It's on the smart TVs, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Or on your phone, one of the two.
Mhm.
So yeah, okay. We got so much work to do. Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
Well, so they all start to feed each other. So if we can start with, think about this, ladies, like if we can start with some graphics that are on the website,
Yeah.
that highlight the network, highlight your producers,
Mhm.
then we can take those graphics, turn them into social media posts,
Mm-hmm.
take those and turn them into, use them in email, use them on your postcards.
Mhm.
We create some videos of Zandra talking about it, right? Having your own show, so that we can leverage that on, once they click, I want to have my own show, it feeds them this video. These videos are shareable through social media. But inviting people to casting calls, right? Like, I'm looking for producers. Have you ever thought about hosting your own TV show and then doing those live webinars,
Mhm.
right, of what it takes to host your own show? I'm going to teach you how to do it, and we're looking for, and use that as a feeder to get people to become a producer as the high end offer. Well, if being producer right now isn't exactly what you're looking for, low end, be a guest on the show.
Right.
Right. So high end offer, producer, low end, just be a guest on the show. But doing a webinar, like whenever, like even if you just did it once a month, right? Once every other week, however, like you get to turn on the faucet,
Mhm.
bringing people in. Now you're doing it one to many, Zandra, and people get excited, like the buzz around other people. What would your show be about, right? What are you an expert at? What's your audience size look like now, right? And they're like, oh, well, I need this, I'm like, you'd be a perfect candidate for our incubator program, right?
Yeah.
So you filter out in the questions in the webinar that get them to take that next step to host their own show.
So, okay, I really love it because we really have, like you said, the low end, but we got a mid range too. Because the mid range could be a custom commercial on TV. So that's a mid range. So you got the high end, be a producer. You don't want to do that. You should have a commercial.
Yep.
Get in while you can, right?
Yep.
There's a mid range to that. Now, granted, it's still about $2,200, but you pay monthly, for over 6 months to have it featured on for 6 months. Or, you can still get in the game. You can get an interview. Now,
Yeah.
one of the things that I saw, with my competitions, is that they're not charging for to be on TV, to be on an interview, right? They're not charging, but here's the thing. But if you want to give value, that's where you have to charge, because you're going to give them assets.
Well, they're doing, Zandra, they're doing no charge for the interviews because they're using it to build their list, right? And they're using it as a qualifier or as a filter, but anytime somebody does something for free, it's because they're building their list.
Yeah.
And they're getting the emails because that has value. And so, Zandra, if you ever want to do a thing, and this is where doing a group, you get to be a part of a panel, you get to be a part of, this where we've got 5 people on that, whatever it is, like you can do those for free if you're wanting to use it to build your list. But I think this casting call, you'll build your list that way.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And then they pay for TV. Yeah, they should absolutely pay for TV.
Okay, I'm down with the casting call, and you'll be happy to know that I created a casting call like way before this.
Wow.
I mean, yeah. So
smart, because you're a smart
good.
cookie.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Okay, so we need to spend the time on this casting call situation. Okay, that makes sense. And then I need to do the Okay. Okay.
Right.
Wow.
And so each piece of this
Let's see
is like, okay, there's this, like, making the checklist and putting it in order and just what's the next piece?
Right.
Do that. What's the next piece? Let's do that. This way you're not overwhelmed going, oh my gosh, where do we start? Like, start with those graphics, start with that message, right? Lead them into that funnel of that event where those could be the recordings, that you repurpose, or the things that you do live. Although you're great at the recording piece too. See, look at that.
Well, that was back in September 19.
Oh,
that's how far back that I had said, okay, I need to start doing casting calls, but then things just went kind of crazy.
Sure.
So, but we need to redo this and just create a real casting call with, lights, camera, action, and, all of that kind of stuff. And so I'm already there. I guess what I'm trying to tell you, my angel, I'm already there because I did it back in 19. So it just wasn't time, timing, right? So I like the casting call situation. Okay. So if I do, okay, so do you think, you saw the post that I did for Sawubona, right? On Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think what do you think about doing that?
Yeah.
Like with all of them, it's going to be somebody different. We did the Path to Healing and.
Yeah, no, that is perfect, because they're looking, if they're looking to you for that exposure. That's a part of why when somebody else will come to them and say, why are you on the Zandra TV network? You should have your show on my network. I'm like, well, I get all of this. Right? I get this support. I get this. Yeah. I had somebody who, she had joined with somebody else, right? And she's like, Angel, they don't, there's no substance. They don't do any of this. There's none of this. And so it'll be easy for them to just stack the deck of value of what they get from the ZTV network. But you probably want no, and you might have already done it. I just didn't dig into it, but tag every one of your producers when you do those posts. So this is, for Sawubona Sisters, but tag all of your producers in those posts so they can do that cross promotion, because it's the community, it's the network, right? They're on a network, and you really want them to feel loyalty to the network.
Right.
Yeah. Now, another thing that Felice is going to be doing is this system that we're using also has the ability to do social post. So she's going to be, okay, like you see what I did for social media, but then Felice, you're going to be doing something different that is almost like to help build their list, by just giving away some content around that content and driving them to Sawubona.
Yes.
A different type of social media post, right, Felice? Don't let me say it wrong, Felice.
No, you're saying it right. You're saying it right. You didn't
So
say
getting it from a couple of different angles.
Well, and you know, sometimes, yeah, so we're doing all the social media posts, which is great. But you guys, like if I go and I look at the kind of responses, like you're creating the conversation, you're starting the conversation rather than just always posting more. Like you've got people that are engaging with you. So now let's get them into, into the conversation. So love on them on social, right? On the private, on the public space, but then in the private space, invite them. Have you ever thought about hosting your own show? I'd love to invite you to our next casting call, right? You know, or love to have have you seen this video series about hosting your own show? Like whatever is a next thing, but to do that in that private messaging, because they've engaged with you, love on them there so people can see that.
So you think we should do that in DM or directly on, like just reply to their comment?
So I would only do one directly on, and I do all the rest of them in the private message so that it doesn't become.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. So, oh my God, this is so much work. We should have had Hawa on here too, right, Felice? Because this is a lot of work.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think I got you on the social piece because we're doing fairly well, I think, in that area, a lot better than we were. Hawa's been amazing. And the wonderful thing is now Tracy has hired Hawa. So we are going to get that cross-pollination of the same thing, which is really awesome. So then let's talk about email campaign. I love your little email. I miss you already. I said, you send it to everybody. You didn't just send it to me. You know what? I'm the spoilest. I mean, I will admit I'm spoiled. And if I don't get what I'm like, Angel, are you leaving me? I feel like I'm like on a life support.
I will tell you that email people responded to. Like, you know how you send out stuff all the time and they just read, people just read. Like people actually replied to that email. And I mean, that's what we're looking for, right? Is people to engage with us, right? And to pay attention, to open our emails, right? How do you send an email that gets open?
Right.
Problem number one, right? And then they actually take action. I didn't ask them to do anything with it, but I probably got like 13 people replied back to it. I was like,
that's
okay,
awesome.
All right, we touched a nerve, right? Like, which is really what we want to do, right? Make them laugh, make them cry, scare the bejeebies out of them, right? And so, which is what I did to Zandra. I didn't mean to. Like, are you leaving? So,
are you leaving me? Girl, you know God told you not to leave me.
I'm not leaving you. I'm trusting. And so, I mean, like, there's a lot of people in your space. There's a lot of people in our space, right? And they send out, they've paid people to be copywriters. They've paid people to, to create these incredible emails. Don't feel like you have to start from scratch. Well, you have an expert right here, right? She's an expert at emails. But I mean, really, I read other people's stuff. I'm like, oh, that's good. I'm gonna take that.
Adapt it. Yes, adapt.
Adapt it. I'm going to adapt it.
Yes.
Or long-term borrow is my other word. Instead of stealing it, long-term borrow it.
I will often sign up for programs, not to take the program, but just to get their email swipe, right? Just to see their process.
Yes.
And and then I end up with all this stuff that I'm like, now when am I going to do that?
Yeah.
But I mean, if you look at like how Bernardo posted his, right? And what he shared and what his headlines were, his email subject lines. But what did he do? He got you to jump into a call. That's what you want to do. You want to get them to jump into a call with you or a recording with you. I think live for now is a better way to go. But
I do too.
Get them to get them, this is, everybody wants to be on TV. Everybody wants to be on TV. And so I'm going to teach you the 3 things that it takes to either be a guest or host your own show. I wouldn't say advertising, but there's other languages. Like there's 3 different levels that you can get involved with on TV, to expand your brand. But it's just, I think you've got to build your audience, right? We got to, like we all do, we just got to build our audience. And email, even though they say it's dead, it's still one of the most effective ways to get your message out to people. Because they read them, they see them. They might not read them, but they see them.
Yes.
Okay.
I have, and you probably do too, a list of, headlines that, you can modify and play with, so you don't have to start from scratch if you want.
Yeah, please. Quickly.
Oh God, send them. Send us what we can. Help us. That'll be great.
Yep.
God, this is a lot, but this is what needs to happen. Producer ZTV. Oh, I forgot. There is a 5th lane. I knew there was 5.
Okay. I put it in the chat box.
Oh, great. You gonna nab that, Felice?
Yes, I'm on it. Okay,
Thank
but
you.
I'm anxiously waiting for this 5th thing.
The 5th thing was what? It was Zandra. Am I supposed to be just Zandra TV Network, or is there the Zandra thing too? I know that sounds kind of vain, but I'm not being vain. It's just like, how do you pitch, like being on the Success magazine or being in, or like I'm getting ready to be on stage speaking at the iconic Black CEO event.
Yeah,
That's
Zandra Evans, award-winning producer, best-selling author, is an icon. And I think that maybe even, how does Oprah do that? Because she's got the magazine, she is the Oprah, she's got the show, she's got her network. And so, there's a great, like, how does she do all that? How does she feature herself? Because there is, so Oprah.com is really her umbrella, right? So it's really about the TV network. You can unlock like her special offer. Ooh, this is good. She's got a special offer. She's got her Twitter feed over here. She's got some ads. The latest episodes. Watch. Then she's got. But nothing about Miss O herself. Let me see what's over here.
Yeah, but I think in the early years, this is, we have to go early year Oprah, right?
Yes.
Early year Oprah was Oprah. Like nobody was talking about OWN and O and magazine. Right. She wasn't that. She was the Oprah Winfrey that was out there telling her story about how she, did what she did and how it came about. And then there was this shift, right, to Zandra TV to her network. But that's what I'm saying. I'm still trying to socialize Zandra Evans and Zandra TV Network at the same time. But then again, she didn't have OWN from the beginning, and it's kind of like I do. So that's why I'm trying to get a feel for, should we dummy down the Zandra Evans and overemphasize Zandra, because it's my name anyways, TV Network, and I don't know, Angel. That's really a thing for you.
So and it is a thing for Angel. But let me ask this question: you're more than Zandra TV Network, though, right?
Well, yeah, I do more than that. Yeah, but I don't know.
So
look at Angel.
Okay. A couple of
I can
things.
tell when she get ready to do say something profound. Come on with it.
So the story and the human, right? The human behind it. That's the story, and that's sticky. I'd love to have you, right? Every, on covers of magazines, doing more interviews, and that's about your story. When you're on OPA, other people's audiences, it's about who is Zandra. And there should be an element, maybe someplace on the Zandra TV network that talks about who is Zandra and talks about your story. But if we're going to invest all of our energies and efforts, we've got to keep our eye on what are we selling, right? Where at the end of the day, we're selling a product, right? We're selling the Zandra TV network. So that's where we want to lead people to. Nice to them to get to know Zandra, want to get to know them, and we want to share your story. But what you want are producers, right? You want advertisers, and you want guests on, you want people that want to build their business using your platform. So we want to lead everybody, I think, to the network, because that's what we're selling.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, to me it does.
Yeah.
I just wanted to, okay, so let me move the Zandra box. No. Who moved my cheese anyways?
Well,
No, I just,
you need to be, right?
but I know how I'm doing that. It happens all the time. People are interviewing. I'm getting ready to interview with a woman in Australia. I just did somebody, so that is happening. So I'm really not I wasn't worried about it, but I was like, do we need to put emphasis on that too? Because that would be the fifth box. So I see 4 solid boxes.
Yep.
Okay.
And where you go, the network follows, right?
Yeah.
So that's good. And where the network goes, right? You're right in line with that, because you are, right? You are the owner of, and the award-winning producer, right? The CEO of the network. So, and I think that as I really think we've got something, because you have so many shows. Hey, people are just dabbling at this, Zandra. Nobody else has this many programs. And I think just emphasizing, when you emphasize you have this show, and every week where you've got something else. And Fireside Chat and Biz Talk, they are a show on the network. It's about the network. And I think getting your producers to start talking about the network might actually, let's get some videos from them, some testimonials or some promo videos about, come watch my show on this network. Right? I'm on the ZTV network.
Right.
Let's teach people what to say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I like it.
Because that's a huge differentiator for you, is that you've got this many programs. I mean, ABC doesn't have that many programs, right? They launch 3 shows or whatever a season. Hey, I should look that up. Hey,
that's a good one.
Right? But how many? I mean,
we are really, I don't think a network does come out with 10 new shows a season. And so looking at season 2, we're already to 10. We have 10 new producers for season 2 that have signed contract. So you think about, Eric and Salika, they're going to be the first, couple show that's going to be talking about relationship on TV. We got a historian, and it's a guy that is going to talk about history, and he's going to be teaching on that. And he is, just knowing that we got all this different variety, but kind of undertone, all of it is the undertone of faith-based, but it's not like preachy. Probably the most preachy we have is Fanny, but everybody else is kind of a little subtle on that. How many do they produce a year?
Well, hold on. So this is on Oprah, because and I know it's
big production,
right? It's big, but can I share my screen?
Sure, yes.
Okay, so this is her shows, right?
Mhm.
So, you know, she's got 3, 6, 9. There's a bunch, right? But
Oh, I didn't know she had that many.
look, we've got Oprah's masterclass, like
Mhm.
her own, like this is her own stuff. This
Right.
is Oprah's. Where are they now?
Mhm.
The Oprah Winfrey Show. Those are old episodes of the
Yeah.
Oprah Winfrey Show. This is Oprah.
Mhm.
Um, oh, there's like a lot of these are
There's Oprah right there, Super Soul
right.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these are so yeah, she's got a bunch, but a lot of them are her.
Right.
So remember that too. Like
Yeah.
she's producing a lot of content.
Yeah.
And so right now, Zandra, you've got the Biz Talk, you've got Fireside, but you compete exactly in this space for sure. Totally competing in this space. And I think when we start pushing it out, like there's a new network in town. There's a new network in town. Right.
Yes.
And you know, we want people to watch it, right? We want people to get excited about it, and then we want them to picture themselves involved.
And I like that even that headline. There's a new network in town.
Hmm. There's a new network.
Mhm.
And we thought about, I mean, here's another thing we thought about, and we don't know how much it's going to cost. So I have Fanny looking into it, but we thought about getting a couple of digital, I know it sounds crazy, you know, but huge signs on major freeways that says, you know, about the network and have each of the producers popping up on there
Boy. Mhm.
in their shows.
So here's a phrase. Has she bought advertising before?
She has.
Okay, yeah. Use the phrase remnant. Although with digital, it's so different.
And you know what? But here's the thing. I don't even think it costs what it used to. Because they can't. Why? Because of streaming and the way things happen today. People are not paying attention that much. But she was saying that they did it with some guy and it was very affordable. You know, maybe like $1,500. It wasn't a lot of money. So
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, let's look into it. We just want to make an impact. You know, this is the year of make our big impact. I think we made a big impact in 2020, but 21 has to be game changer. Like I want to create so much distance.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, and absolutely. And we do. I was reading and I think I told you that, you know, you're going to have people nipping on your heels. And but by the time they catch up, like there just won't be. You know, we got to get you on the thing on Times Square.
Good Morning America.
The sign in Times Square.
Oh, the big. Oh, wow.
Yeah, well.
But right, I know I had checked into it.
Oh, my system is going crazy. Okay.
Oh, look, you could ring the bell on NASDAQ. Oh, I wonder how we could do that. Yeah, during the hour and opening and closing bell, companies get access to 1 hour of exclusive advertising on the NASDAQ Tower marquee. They have the option to display a 30-second no audio advertisement, which will alternate with a welcome message from NASDAQ and photos live from inside the studio. They'll assist you in your production of your 30-second video for your bell ceremony. They'll have a photographer. Oh my gosh, this is where I wonder how much this would be. Like we could do a crowdfunding, to get you on the.
I love it.
I mean, how amazing would that be? I'm just gonna fill this out and see.
Now, what is this for? NASDAQ?
In Times Square. Bell ringing ceremony.
I love it. I love it.
Oh my goodness, you are crazy, lady. That's funny.
Oh my gosh. Right. But mm, oh, we had checked into it. And I remember when I heard it, I'm like, it's not a long-term plan, but for um but for a moment, right, in
Yeah.
time to say, hey, we are launching, right? There's a new network in town and it's the ZTV network. And she's got these 13 producers. And this is the impact we're making in the world. These are minority owned, right? Most of them are women. So, women owned, minority owned businesses that finally have a platform and a voice, all thanks to this pioneer in the marketplace, award winning producer, best selling author, Zandra Evans. I just think that people just stop and take notice. Like, what is she doing? But to get them to take notice, that's one piece. But now what do we do with them? Right. So we've got to have, like, be on TV. We've got to have this, sign up for here, sign up for this, grab my masterclass on how to host how to host your own TV show, right? Sign up for our casting calls, sign up for our incubator 101, right? And maybe it's a preview to the incubator. And so different things that they can sign up for. So you're not doing one-on-one sales calls at the beginning, you're filtering through, but you're filtering them through and you're bringing on a dozen at a time.
So, I just signed a collaboration agreement, so I could tell y'all now, because that Renata, we're supposed to have that press release. I'll send it back to you saying, can you make it more meatier about ZTV?
Oh, yeah.
It ain't just about us, about me. Look at me. I know I am really, I am very humble. So y'all know that I'm not really vain, but I was like, this is too much her and not enough me. Cause I have the asset. She has assets too, but my asset is far greater. Anyhow, she had asked me to create a master class for a 90-day to, it would be like a mini incubator, just 90 days of just going through the high points. And then they will create a couple of, I think 2 to 3 episodes that'll just be on her Dreamspire TV. And it's almost like we're going to use her as a feeder that says, well, you'll be on Dreamspire TV, but if you want to come with the big league and get on Roku and Amazon and Apple, then you have to go through the incubator. So that becomes a feed through this masterclass.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I mean, right now people they're looking for how do I stand out? How do I compete? How do I get out of everybody's on social, right? And the only way to stand out there is either to have a big group or to advertise. So TV is, it's better than just a podcast, right? It's better than just a YouTube. It's television.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, we got a lot to do, right? That's enough, right? So then, okay, here's my next question. Oh God, do you know of any graphics designers that you believe in? And do not say Deborah. No.
Jolene does all of mine.
I have a couple.
But we want network. We want to look like. We just want to look like way up there.
Yeah.
Who were you thinking of, Felice? Don't say Brandon.
His name is Santana Thrashy Bull. You haven't. You haven't met him.
Okay, we might need to get Santana. But I probably need to see his work. But it needs to be I'm trying to elevate. In order to be where you need to be, you got to make some adjustments. And so we're trying to make adjustments. And that's one of the things that I want to make an adjustment on is the graphics.
And the reason why I suggest him. Right. Well, the reason why I even bring up his name is because his first job was in what is it called? When product licensing, and he's done movie posters as well. So I think he could capture the essence of what you're talking about.
Okay.
He's not just a graphic designer, just because, he went to school for graphic design. He specializes in some things that I think might be a better fit.
Okay.
Hey, are we
So-
on Roku?
So yeah,
They
What?
rung the opening bell this morning on NASDAQ.
Who did?
Roku.
They did?
Yeah, I think that we should, do a post about that,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
They rung the opening bell this morning.
Oh my.
And, right? And how there's a new networking in town, like Zondra Network, right? Is featured on. Yeah.
You see why I love this woman?
Yeah, you're amazing. You're
Isn't she
amazing.
amazing? Like you
For
don't
that
even
link
have to
up,
be
so I'll put
around her
that-
that long and you're like, oh my gosh. She is amazing.
Wow. Yeah,
That's-
yeah. Oh,
Angel, I can't. I tell you all the time, I can't do this without you. Like you're
So-
amazing. Your mind, your thought process. She's very giving. She is so selfless. I don't even have a lot of words because I can't. I'd be here for, ever talking about her.
Oh, well, we don't have to do that. So
Yeah.
I'm going to post
She's
this
a-
little thing. Yeah. But
Okay.
yeah, I
That's good.
would love, like, we're thinking the same thoughts, right? We're right there, right? Roku's there. Like, we want to follow. These are the footsteps that we want to follow. The Mannies, right? Like, let's go where the leaders are in the space, right? And let's catch up to them and let everybody else try and play catch up. Like, what is Roku doing? What's Hulu doing? What are these are streaming out? We're really in the same place that they are, Zondra. They're figuring it out too. They're bringing on new producers and people who are on their network. They've never done this before. Like, this is all new. So you're in that space right with the giants, right? In the forefront of this new frontier.
Okay. All right. I think we got enough to get started. But I probably will call another meeting in a month or so just to see our progress and see where we're at. And because we need to stay on top of this. And then the second piece of this, because we're out of time, but Angel, do we still think we should try to go forward with COVID numbers going crazy for Magnetize?
I think let's wait and see. Let's let this new presidential thing all come in
Yeah.
and see what happens in these first 30 days. Because it might go away because it was political. It might get bigger because it's like, we just don't know. We just don't know.
Yes.
And Europe is on shutdown again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's another strain there. So I was just like, I think I guess the challenge, Angel, is to take Magnetize to a virtual level. And how could you do that? Right? There's a way to do it with sending low end everything you need to create your home environment for video production.
Mhm.
And maybe there's another way to do it. So I think we got to take the virtual Magnetize and think about how you get everything in a package. Like
Yeah.
you get
Yeah. Like,
you get
yeah. We give
10
them
backdrops to
give them
choose
a
from.
backdrop. Yes. Like,
You get all this. And
Mhm.
then during the exercise, you're up and you're saying, oh, does it look right? And people are going, no, you need adjustment. It
Mhm.
could be something. It may not be 1997, but we might be able to do 1200.
Mhm.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. If they're getting a media,
Well, we might be able to do 1997.
Right.
Tell the
Yes.
truth. We still could probably do that
Mhm.
Mhm.
and give them everything that they need. The right kind of ring light, the right kind of, backgrounds that we know will work.
microphone. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we could price out. Yeah. This, and they get that in
Microphone.
a box
Yes.
you know, some band, yeah, backdrop, yeah, the whole thing, that could be.
And we teach them, you
Yeah.
know, Dave can teach the technical pieces. I can teach about becoming one with the camera and the angles. He could be teaching angles. We could even give them this. I mean, look, as I take my laptop up to show you, I mean, everybody got this, but they have these now that are plastic, you guys, that gives you levels. You can go as high as you want to place your laptop. It's plastic.
Mhm.
And it comes,
One of
look,
those.
and it comes with a cell phone holder.
Oh,
Nice.
So we could even do that. I mean,
Yeah.
so it's like all of these things don't cost that much. I think that was like maybe $10,
Wow.
$12.
yeah. So if we sent them, you know, $100 worth of stuff, right?
Mhm.
Like that's, yeah, we could
Yes.
definitely have
And
that.
it would create a buzz. It would
Yeah.
create a buzz. No, you're not going to be able to do the photo shoot and all that. But if we did this and we did it virtually,
Mhm.
You know, but we could send them a little makeup kit, right? With some fun lip colors, right? Some little lashes. I don't know. Like there could be some stuff that we could send to them too, right? You know, a fun, I don't know.
hey, and you know what? And we could do a makeup class. So we can have our makeup person like, okay, this is the way you have to start, you know.
Mhm.
And then everybody's like trying what's in their bag, right? Maybe even they get to tell us what their colors are. This,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
for their makeup, and then a little powder. I mean, we could really make this thing, because I think everything that we do, we have to become with a virtual mindset to what you
Yes.
offer. Because if you still think you're just going to do everything live, it's not going to happen. So
Yeah. So a makeup tutorial, the entire studio kit.
yes, yes.
You know, and then they actually have on camera practice, like, you know,
Yes.
like stuff that we're having them walk them through, like on camera tutorials. Yeah, you know what? It could still happen. It could still
I
happen.
think it could still happen. I think we should noodle on it and think about it. But to me, we could do this virtually and teach people how to become a virtual expert, because this is what is happening. This is the society and the life that we live in. And even if we go back to being face to face, we're going to teach you some things that are going to change your trajectory for life. It will.
Yes.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Yes.
Brilliant. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And then like those headlines that we were just doing and the press releases and I mean, all of that could be done. We could do it all online. We could lay this thing out. I mean, I've done a 2-day conference. You've done a 2-day conference. We know how to do this. This is not nothing that we haven't done. And you're teaching from this stage,
Mhm.
but makeup, colors, you know, how you have to always have your lipstick near, you know, how to put your photo in on Zoom, because people still don't know how to do that. And well, why is it that it come up sometime and it don't? Because you're clicking that link and you're not in your account. And there's so many things that we could be teaching.
Yep. Okay. All right. It's back on.
Maybe not for April, but maybe we could do it, say, I don't know, maybe in June or July or August. I don't know. I just think it needs to happen this year. And I'd like to get a jump on it so that there's a buzz about, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Maybe April, May.
Okay, let's try to go on and make it happen. Because you know what? I did an interview and they asked me what was coming up and I told them about Magnetize. And do you know that woman was like, let me know, I want to promote it. But more importantly, I have to be there.
Wow.
Yeah.
From somebody I interviewed with in Dallas, they were like, I'm in. I'm in. I don't even know. I don't know. You don't tell me how much it costs. I'm in and I want to promote it through my network. And this is the one that knows Zig Ziglar's daughter. And I got to meet Zig Ziglar's daughter. So.
And the nice thing too, then, Zandra, like, because if we were going to do it live, you know, we were going to have to limit it, right? We had a limited number of people that were going to be able to come. We don't have that now.
Right.
Girl, we could do 50, 100.
Right?
You think about 1997 and get 50 to 60 people. Well, our goal could be 50 to 60 at $2,000. That's how much money is that? Hello.
Yes.
6 figures right there.
That is 6 figures for the weekend, Friday, Saturday.
Okay, so
Yep.
50 people at 2K.
Mhm.
Yeah. Think in May, April or May. Okay, well, February, March, April. Let's say May.
May.
Let's get through January,
Okay,
all of this stuff. Let's get the ZTV network
okay.
blowing up because you've got people on your coattails. We don't want to slow that down. And then we'll do this in May.
And we can start creating a buzz.
We will.
Literally, we could create a form. I'm interested. Click this link if you're interested, because you know what? It's going to fill up fast. We're going
Right.
to teach you. Blah, blah, blah. We can start that promotion, even though we are doing what we need to do to create the distance.
Mhm.
But I feel like we're master at it. I mean, well, maybe not as master as Oprah and her team, but I know that we do good work.
We are. We're gonna be the masters of the virtual.
Mhm.
Could possibly even do it in April. All right, let's noodle
Okay.
on that, all the
All
pieces,
right.
right? And then yeah, as soon as we
Okay.
have a graphic and an online form for people to register, to as a holding spot, right? They put 100 down to hold their seat or something like that.
Sure.
That'll help us to buy all the stuff.
Mhm. Yeah.
Non-refundable.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Talk to you soon.
All right.
Thank
Bye.
you.
I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks. It was nice to meet you, Angel.
Nice to meet you too.
All
All right.
right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.